Hello everyone, your marketing tip this week focuses on how you're presenting a home to a buyer on behalf of your seller. I really want to focus on one thing in particular here, and that is that as a seller or as a homeowner, I personally believe that people spend an awful lot of time preparing their home while they're living in it to be a very strong reflection of themselves. I know for me personally, I've only lived in my home for a few years, but even in past homes that I've lived in, the amount of time that you spend gardening or fixing lights or hanging up artwork or making sure that your floors don't have scratches in it, even if you're not selling your home, your space that you live in is so important to you and ultimately a huge reflection of yourself. And when you live in a home for that long and you spend all of this time putzing with it and making sure that it looks nice, I believe that when you're selling your home, you want somebody who's buying it or prospective buyers to walk in the door and see it for the most part as you see it. Of course, they're not going to have the emotional attachment, but I do believe that as a listing agent, it's your responsibility to appreciate and understand the value that a seller has for their home, and not just from a financial standpoint, and not only because they want to get it sold, but because for X number of time, they've spent an awful lot of their own energy making this a lovely, beautiful place for them to live in. That again, key is a reflection of themselves. So when you guys are going through the process of setting up your listing presentation material, and a key piece of this in my opinion, which is a huge miss for most realtors, is feature sheets. Try and understand that this is your one opportunity on paper to show the seller that you understand how much they care about their home, the work, the time, the effort that they've put into their home, and that everybody that walks into that door to see the home and walks away with a piece of marketing material that is going to have pictures, listing comments, that is really a reflection of a seller and the time that the seller has put into that house. So please, my opinion, if you're going to do anything, make sure that you're doing it professionally and that you're really respecting the seller and how they feel about it. Going and printing off something on Matrix, I don't think it's the best way to do it. As a seller, I would want something that I've invested in to be presented a little bit more professionally and with a little bit more class. You don't have to use our feature sheets. You can use any feature sheets that you want. Get a graphic designer to create a template for you. If you want something a bit easier, our graphic department does do feature sheets for you. There's a lot of different designs depending on the type of home you have, color options, sizing options. The sky's kind of the limit. But do take the time. Make sure that you're presenting this properly. That way when you're sitting down with your seller right before the house goes on market, you can sit down, and what I would do is say, you have such a great house. Obviously, you've taken a lot of time and care to make sure that this is a wonderful place to live. I've tried to capture this the best that I can on paper. What do you think? And I think that just is really going to speak to the seller and show that you don't only care about this as a financial investment, but you understand that it's a home, and you're going to try and reflect that to the next future buyer. So give that a shot, see how it works, and I do really think that you're going to see a big smile on your seller's face when they see what you've prepared for them. That's your marketing tip this week.